Vampire Survivors is a roguelike bullet hell game, basically designed around the core premise of survival for 30 minutes and nothing else. Kinda like Walmart on Black Friday. From the very beginning of the game, you choose one of the many wacky characters. You got your whippy dude, your vampire dude, what that girl on Tinder did to you, your social security benefitter, your sleep paralysis demon. You are plopped into one of two maps. Yeah, two maps. That one doesn't count, and it never will count. You got the Mad Forest, the Inlaid Library, and the sad stepchild that everyone forgot about after the marriage. Mad Forest is essentially the training ground where the boys and girls go to be harassed by homeless dudes who really just need a spare dime for the bus. Full of your average everyday New York State Park inhabitants, like Flying Rat, the Emaciated, and Carlos, who just really enjoys running down those who litter in his gray-green property. Every enemy has their own amount of health and damage and every other stat under the sun. Each minute, the enemies don't really get harder, it's just the type of park residents that encounter you on your great trek through the wonderful area widens and gets a lot scarier. How is that going to happen, you may ask? I surely hope there's some weapon like a stick or perhaps a heater from your local 7-Eleven that you can use against these homeless, unwashed hordes. I really hope you enjoy pelting these dudes with tap water. But in all honesty, you could use the wimpy water, or you could use the Chad whip, or perhaps you want to feel like Zeus making some KFC on these fools with the lightning ring. Perhaps you're feeling
delightfully devilish,
and you whip out the fire wand and really bring out the inner middle-aged man grill phase.
Fire, fire, fire!
So, you got your hot boys, you got your heaters to deal with those hot boys. So just how do I get more heaters? Because dear God, there's no way I'm pulling 30 minutes with a bottle of tap water and a little fire stick. In Vampire Survivors, you can have 6 weapons and 6 trinkets. Weapons count as axe, bone, lancet, cross, ebony, fire wand, garlic, laurel, Bible, knife, lightning ring, magic wand, piachone, white bird, dog, rune tracer, tap water, and bondage. While trinkets count as armor, sticky fingers, why do you exist, clover, crown, the best power in the game, empty tome, it's f***ing empty, hollow heart, puma, because I'm not saying the whole word, candelabra-dabba-go-galabba-labba-dabba-door, don't look that up, tiramisu, like the dessert, don't look that up either, mask, spellbinder, spinach, and the Sonic drive-thru, each of which has their own interactions with each other and do wildly different things that are, for the most part, completely uncontrollable. Other than that, they usually just have one goal: make stuff go boom. Each character has their own weapon they start with, and usually a few accompanying passives to go with it. Some are more useful than others, if we could put it like that. Then that leads us to the next issue. How does one get these items? Well, you get levels upon grabbing enough of these little blue meth crystals, vacuuming them up like you're a Swiffer wet jet with a vengeance.
Money, money, money!
Once you level up, you get 3 to 4 choices as to what kind of heater or shiny boy you want to cop for your pursuit of neighborhood justice. Once you choose a new item, that one is with you for the rest of the run. No take-backsies. As you get enough dog tags, you can also begin to level up your currently existing tools to be even more shiny and wacky as the game continues, up to a maximum level for most weapons at 8 and most trinkets at 5. There also are chests that drop all over the place upon beating a special enemy. These chests contain a lot of shekels and also an upgrade for your existing loadout, so it's literally never a bad idea to grab as many from the government. However, chest spawns are based on luck, so some runs are just doomed from the start and you're rolling on welfare. Once you cap all your weapons, you may still want to upgrade your heaters into GATs, and I must admit, there is a way to master this technique. After 10 minutes, if you have the capped weapon, and if you have the appropriate trinket, and you find a chest to unlock, then you get a new weapon. It replaces its old one in a quote evolved form. Evolutions are almost always a must-try when running an item, because the difference from having a base item versus these bad boys simply is larger than the distance it takes to get the free tome. Why is this a part of the game? The weapons that can currently evolve are everything but Laurel, Bone, and Lanchet, probably because people that use those ate paint chips as children, especially Laurel users. Come on, man, like, I get it, but like, just try to have some dignity, like, please. Every run you collect these little doubloons from the ground and from chests. These V-Bucks can then be spent at the power-up menu, and dear lord do these stats seem overpriced, because they are. Every time you put a point into the talent, the entire tree gets pricier by some percentage that I don't really care enough to look up. So the meta way is to cheat the system. Buy the most expensive thing first, then deal with your crippling debt later, and eventually you'll have some fat stacks like me. Personally, I recommend Wall Street, Nepotism, Bang Bangs first. At least, you know, these will actually make runs winnable. It also helps that any and all Bitcoin can be refunded with one click anytime you want on the power-up menu. So if you aren't a day trader like me, you can at least still game the system retroactively. Once you upgrade, it's as simple as getting back into the action though. Once you spend those shekels, just click play and go at it again, cowboy. Repeat the cycle of cleansing your neighborhood yet again from all the stalkers in my nightmares, and then eventually come back and do the same cycle over and over and over and over again. But what's this? You beat Man Forest and you want to change a pace? Guess what? The inlaid library, it's right there, and it's driven with 2 less cardinal directions to move in. It claims it's harder, but things can lie. It's way easier than Mad Forest, as you only really need to worry about 2 sides of harm rather than a whole 360 degrees. It makes it so that stall builds are exceptionally effective in living it out inch by inch until you get strong enough to win the game, and or die, you know, whatever your definition of winning is. Then once you beat the library, you get the last challenge of Green Acres, which is, it's just the first map. Again. With tankier enemies and a different pool of enemies. Every minute, randomly generated. This sounds harder, but in all actuality, all it really does is it makes it so that certain characters just kind of get kneecapped on some runs due to them lacking specific tools or just specific stats that are fundamentally needed to complete this consistently. Then you get it. All 3 levels beat. You can now play the game the way it's meant to be played. Hyper mode, the way God intended. Complete this cycle enough and you can eventually have as many gamer points as I do in this $3 game, and we can all be cool kids together in a club forever. Why did I make this video? Because I'm an attention-seeking gremlin with too much free time. So, by the way, there's been more updates to this game, and it's going to keep getting updated, so there's more work to be done. I'll see you for the sequel, chumps.